Alright, good evening everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have Area 51 Racing League here at Talladega. Area 51 Superspeedway Cup Series. Let's see the point standings here as we get into this race. We are going to be starting race number 7 of 12. So right now our points leader is showing as Kevin Freeze, 16 points ahead of Matt Quick, and then Dude Conrad with a big jump from last week's result to third. But you can see though the gap though from second and third is a pretty big jump there. So right now Kevin Freeze, Matt Quick are definitely heads and shoulders above the rest. So the rest of these drivers definitely have to work, third on back, definitely have to try to work their way back up to the front here. Like Dude Conrad, Dale Willoughby, Kevin Hash, and then you've got Gabe Butler, Logan Helton, Raymond Rittenauer, Jack Walls, and Corey Lane are our top 10 in the point standings this evening. Alright, so we'll let these drivers finish up their qualifying laps in just a moment, and then we'll get things going here in just a moment. So yeah, again, I want to thank you all for joining us here on Green White Checker TV, and of course with the Area 51 Racing League. Alright, qualifying has just completed here. So we're going to go ahead and pull up our starting grid for tonight's event. So on the pole position is that points leader Kevin Freeze. Say with that 50.413. In second, Raymond Rittenauer. Third is Gabe Butler. Fourth, Kevin Hash. In fifth, you have Eric Lurie. Sixth, Jack Walls. Seventh, Dale Willoughby. And then rounding out the eighth position is Corey Lane. And we got 9th through 16th there. You got Michael Spell, Joe Delavecchia round out the top 10. Then 11th through 16th, you've got Mark Brown, Brennan Pasalacqua, Todd Merkel, Art Peck, Charles Johnson, and Matt Quick. '17th through 24th is Evan Pienta, Dalton Hayes, Dwight Plush, Jim Brooks, Charles Teed, Nicholas Nook, Ryan Wachter, John Brill. And the final drivers in the race this evening are Eugene Vernon, Gary Corley, Paul Patterson, Bradley Allison, and Brandon Thomas. There you see our pole sitter in that number 25 machine, Kevin Freeze. Again, starting from the pole this evening, looking to try to extend that points lead here tonight. Again, we talked about that team, how well they work together, so that's going to be definitely a thing to keep an eye on. Again, it seems like week after week, if you're going to want to win this race, you're going to have to beat at least one of those team members, because again, these guys definitely they definitely seem to have things down pat pretty well here at these tracks. As the field is rolling off, so unfortunately rolling solo, at least for the moment here. My partner in the Sunday series, Roy Wheeler, had some work commitments he had to take care of. So he had kind of a work emergency he had to get taken care of, so he's went over and getting that squared away. So definitely going to miss him, but hopefully everything's going well for him at the office. But we'll definitely do everything I can here to get us through this evening as well as I can, without some definite quality help with that, with Roy Wheeler here in the booth usually. So again, for anybody who is new to this, here at Area 51 Racing League, they do have up to 3 attempts of a green-white checkered finish. I will also have 2 faster pairs should they need them for the race this evening. And it's going to be 75 laps, fueling those right around that 25 lap mark, so that's going to be a big key for them, as well as try to hit that number to try to make it here on the 2 stops. Of course, should a caution come out, that'll change everything, will pretty much change the whole complexion of this race. So just kind of have to wait and see, and we'll see how things all pan out. Alright, pace car is off. Now we're just waiting for the field to come through the tri-oval. Of course, here at Talladega, they're going to start there a little further down. Wait for that green flag to fly, and we are underway here at Talladega. So far, top 6 here, all still bunched together. It looks like, again, you see that one of Gabe Butler giving a big push to Kevin Freeze. However, on the top side, Raymond Rittenauer on the outside line with Kevin Hash giving him a big push. But right now, it looks like the inside line's got the momentum going at the moment. But again, it is early. Thank you so much for that, Larry. I appreciate the heads up on that. I was running into a couple computer hiccups early here, so we are not starting shortly. We are underway. Kevin Freeze is going to lead lap number 1. Another thing, of course, we got going is with this being Talladega, there is always that opportunity for that third line to form. So I don't think you'll see it early on. I think we'll see drivers probably take it easy here, just try to kind of get settled and established. But then I think as that run wears on, I think that's when you start seeing drivers kind of make those moves once it's approaching pit stop time. But right now, I think we're going to see probably for the most part, everybody's going to, I think, kind of take things easy here and wait till it's really time to go after it. Guys just run the pace laps at 200 miles an hour. Again, Kevin Freeze on that inside line. On the outside is Raymond Rittenauer. We've talked about how much just the push you have to do with these cars. We'll actually hop on board that second car with the 03 of Kevin Hash. We kind of see how little really you see when you're following that car right in front of you. Right here, we're on board with Kevin Hash. I'll say that's also the battle. Between that 03 and the 25, they battled to see who's the better Kevin week in and week out. So last week, Kevin Freeze was the better Kevin. So Kevin Hash has his work cut out for him tonight. He wants to be the better Kevin this evening. So We'll definitely have to remind them if we get that opportunity. Should they finish top 3, we'll definitely get an interview with whichever Kevin becomes the better Kevin of the race. And this is little Kevin Hash sees from his rear bumper that 83 of Jack Wall's, again, that bright yellow Pennzoil Toyota Camry. And that's going to be what he wants to see, though. He wants to see that car right up against the back bumper. That's going to help that line progress as this run continues on. And a couple drivers that are kind of falling off the back, which is going to be difficult for them to try to regain. They're going to have to probably hope for a yellow here. You see the 31 there of Nicholas Nook, as well as the 26 of Paul Patterson and the 7 of Gary Corley. These drivers definitely going to need a little bit of help to try to get back up and charge their way back up into contention here. So hopefully they can work together and get back on kind of into the draft here. But as I'm looking at the interval, I don't know if it's going to be enough to grab onto. So right now you see John Brill's one of the last cars kind of just cruising right now in this lead pack, just taking it easy and just kind of biding his time, I feel like, before again some of these drivers are going to try to make their charge to get towards that front. As you see up front, not much has changed. Still running 2x2, so I don't see a lot of jockeying for a position. Nobody really wants to push 3 wide yet, although it looks, as I see the 90s all wiggling around there, able to keep it straight. Great hands by John Brill there, had a big moment there off of 2, and say that car definitely was wobbling around there, but he was able to hang on to it there, so good save by him, and good heads up by those around him to kind of give him a little bit of space to let him recover that car. Right now it looks like Evan Pienta is interested in trying to make this third line happen, but just doesn't have any help yet. As I say that, he's going to go from the top to the bottom here, drop it down in between that 44 of Dwight Plush and the 90 of John Brill. So right now this is just inside the top 20. Again, though, we're only on lap 7 of 75, so got a long ways to go here. 2 more pit stops at least to make it to the end. I see that group behind still trying to work together, but I don't think there's enough of them to try to recharge to get back up to the front. But you never know what's going to happen here at Talladega, so there's always a chance that could actually be the safest place on track, depending on what happens throughout the remainder of this race. We've been talking about the top 4. We'll go just a little further back there and right around that 3rd, 4th, 5th positions at 071 of Eric Laurie. Eric started in 4th, currently running in 5th. Started 5th, currently running in 4th. Again, that's going to change lap by lap. Right behind him, you've got the 24 of Dale Willoughby. I believe Dale's had a number change here. I want to say he was in the 7 more recently, so it's like Dale's able to get that number change taken care of, and so he's got a new number there in that Michelob paint scheme there. Just outside of him, you got that 81 of Todd Merkel. We were able to have a chat with Todd last week in the Wednesday series. Got his first podium with Area 51, so she's going to, again, wants to look forward to moving that momentum forward. I think we got 4th actually as well on the Thursday Cup series, so definitely momentum going the right way for that 81 machine. On the inside, the 88 Michael Spells. I know Dad's probably watching, wondering why that paint scheme is still showing green and black. We're trying to get it fixed. I'll have to play with Michael at some point and get that squared away. It's just one of those trading paints always has a little bit of finickiness that you have to kind of fight out there. So right now Michael running just inside the top 10 in the 9th position. Outside of him, you got Corey Lane with this Australian V8 supercar type style livery there. However, he's got Bob Burgers on the hood of that car. That's kind of fun to see. That's a pretty amusing cartoon for those that haven't seen it before. But yeah, so I enjoy seeing it on that car there. Then you've got Mark Brown in that 68 in that peak Camaro Blue Def on the sponsor on that one. So again, right now just outside the top 10 in the 11th position. Then you've got Joe Della Vecchia right behind him in that 071, or not 071 car, I'm going the wrong way. Where'd you go, Joe? 052 car, there he is. So the Black Dragon Chevy Camaro. And then to the top, Charles Johnson in the Area 51 Camaro ZL1. Who's behind him? 23 of Brandon Pasalacqua. So he's running that 23 Black Miller Lite paint scheme. And then I'm a little surprised here to see Matt Quick kind of cruising in the back here. Again, still early on. But yeah, so usually Matt's one of those ones that qualifies up front, just really controls the races here. So say maybe just trying something different this evening. Outside of him is Art Peck in that 36 Ford Mustang. Say good looking, fitting paint scheme for that car as well. So right now, Art, same thing. I think a lot of these guys, again, just trying to bide their time. We're about just under halfway through the field run, so still got a ways to go. Then to the outside, or just behind, I should say, Art Peck is at 76 of Jim Brooks, able to pull off the win on Thursday with a 2-tire pit strategy there at the end. Underneath him is the 44 of Dwight Plesh. So again, Dwight's going to be one of those ones I think just hangs out here early on, and then once things get a little bit sorted out towards the front, then he'll probably start trying to make his move during the pit stop cycle. Got Charles T there in the 27 Machine Mountain Dew Camaro. So I saw somebody jump a little bit forward. Oh, that's who we missed. Let's say Dalton Hayes. He's made a good push forward there. So he's in that Superman National Guard machine. Say Dalton started 18th, currently running 19th. Again, still early. And say actually you see Dalton kind of peeking, looking 3 wide. And saying if he does, he's going to have that 61 Evan Pienta. I'm sure he's going to go with him because Evan's been peaking at wanting to take that top line here early on in this race. We got Ryan Wachter in the 55 here. Say Ryan started in 23rd, in 22nd now. So again, it's kind of cruise control for him as well, I believe, in that 55. And then you've got Eugene Vernon in that 001 right behind him. Saying those are Oliver, and then of course we got the 90 of John Burl, who I just mentioned. He's just kind of hanging out in the back of this lead pack. He's got to be careful though, doesn't want to fall too far out. But you can see why he is falling to the back of that group. He just does not want to lose the draft, unfortunately, with that little bit of a connection hiccup he's had. And unfortunately, those 3 that have fallen off the back here, that's 7 of Gary Corley. He's leading the second group with that 31 right behind him of Nicholas Nuck. And then the 26 of Paul Patterson. So those are the 27 cars we have in the race. And say still up front though, you still got that 25 of Kevin Freeze leading the way. Still Raymond Rittenauer 2 is outside, so saying Gabe Butler just still committed right to the back bumper as these drivers just control the pace of this race right now. And just waiting to see if anybody's going to try to make any moves. Again, you see that 47, the 61 thinking about trying to make that topside happen, just haven't committed to it yet. See a little bit of movement here, say in that mid-pack there, right around the 88 and the 10. Let's say looks like everybody's able to get things sorted, but I think that's going to hurt the outside line because they only have 3 cars in there now. So I think the inside line is going to start making a pretty good push here. And I think this might also be drivers starting to kind of position themselves just to make sure they're ready and where they need to be when these green flag pit stops come into play. And hopefully everybody's enjoying their Sunday evening here. So I really want to thank those of you who are joining us this evening. So I hope you're having a good end of the weekend before reality sets in again on Monday. However, hopefully most or all of you have a 3-day weekend coming up with that Labor Day weekend. And can't believe it's already almost September. But yeah, so I really appreciate you all being a part of the race here this evening. And so right now these guys still kind of just, right now, just pretty much 200-mile pace laps as I'm watching the speeds of these cars, and sure enough, they're pretty much through the turns. They barely drop under 200 miles an hour, but I'm watching Kevin Freeze right now, his timers, or his speed here, and as he enters turn number 1, he's hitting about 204 as he enters the turn, and drops down just below 100 to about 199, or below 200, I should say, to about 199 through the turns there. So again, these guys are all on it right now. Again, saying that fuel window again is what we talked about. I believe that lap 25 mark is going to be the critical number to get to, which again, Talladega is a 2.66 mile oval compared to Daytona being at 2.5 miles. So there is a little bit longer distance that comes into play, which could wind up kind of throwing things for a wrench on some of these guys on their fuel saving plans. Of course, especially those that are leaving these packs, because they are not able to save any fuel at all right now as they leave this field. Go ahead and hop on board the one of Gabe Butler. We can see how we talked about how little the 03 could see. So I feel like it's even tougher when you're on the inside line, because you cannot really see your entry into the turns very well. You kind of just depend on that car in front. So that's where these teammates work so well together, being able to work with each other and kind of just help each other judge the corners that they need to do and everything like that. Because if you get in too soon, you're risking the apron and getting yourself loose, and actually just like that, just washing up that little tiny bit there, as you just saw right there. But also, if you get in too late, you kind of risk washing up into those cars outside of you. I just saw the 001. Looks like he's lost the draft here, so unfortunately don't know what happened there. Looks like car looks like it's not damaged from what I can see. But may have had to make some avoidance or something like that. That's dropped him off the draft, so he's now 4 seconds off the lead pack here. So even with the green, so he's going to have to hope that he gains some spots through the pit stop cycle. So it looks like, double check, make sure, yeah, it looks like all these guys are still hanging on to the lead draft here. But yeah, so it's unfortunate there for Eugene Vernon. But again, still early on, there's a lot that can happen as this race unfolds. Haven't even got to our first pit stop yet. However, you can see that inside line really starting to make a move here. Just a little bit of a moment there, a little further back. I think it was Dalton Hayes. Trying to take a look at that car. Looks like he's alright. Wonder if, again, this might just be Drivers Hall trying to position themselves for pit stops here, which will be happening in just probably about 5 laps or so. But right now, again, I don't think you're going to see anybody pit until they absolutely have to, which is, I think, again, still going to be in about that 4 to 5 lap window here. So the next thing that's going to come in some of these drivers' minds is going to be pretty much all those drivers on the top line, is how they can get to the bottom, which already you see. Pretty much most of the field here found a way to cycle to the bottom. They're going to try to get, they want to get down there, make sure they're in position. But what you might see also is you might see some teamwork here from some of these drivers. Try to kind of maybe lift a little bit, open up a little gap here, and try to let some of their teammates in. That way they can kind of get into their positions to be able to get into that pit stop cycle. I say we're watching Raymond Rittenauer or Kevin Hash right here. I'd say I wonder if Kevin's going to try to either push Raymond up to the front to make the pit stops, or if they're going to try maybe see if he can, one of them at least, can squeeze in between that one of Gabe Butler and the 071 of Eric Laurie. Again, pit stops here, probably just about 2 to 3 more laps here. Say some of these drivers a little further back may have been saving this whole run. They might be able to go a lap further, which again could definitely come into play here. So far, no real change here. I'm still watching that 8703, see what they're going to try to do. Right now, they're still pretty much stuck on the top line as we're on lap number 22 of 75. So, again, I feel like that pit window is going to be opening here shortly. I think I see that gap maybe starting to form right now. Yeah, there goes Raymond. He's going to drop right in front of that 24 of Dale Willoughby. Now Kevin Hash is going to have to try to find a spot for himself to sneak into, which right now he has not found that opening at the moment. So he's going to see maybe he can get a little bit of help from that car behind him. So that is the 10 of Corey Lane, and then I believe that was Todd Merkel, or no, sorry, Todd Merkel was inside. That's the 23 of Brandon Pasalacqua behind him. But right now, though, Kevin Hash is unfortunately right now looking like the odd man out here on this outside line. Just hasn't found a way to get to the bottom yet as of this moment. I think Kevin might be able to squeak in here with that big push he's getting from Corey Lane. I think he might try to cut left right there, and he does. Big move there. Kevin Hash gets to the bottom right in front of Raymond Rittenauer. So I think those are those teammates there. Again, we talked about the teamwork that they have, so you can see them all lined up here on that bottom line. So I think pretty much the first 6 or 7 cars there on the inside line is all part of that group together. So we'll see if they pit this time or if they're going to go one more. Nope, here they all come. There. Oh, contact between the 25 I saw. Say Kevin Freeze and Gabe Butler. Looks like they kept it straight. So I don't know how. Oh, more trouble there on the entry. However, these cars all look like they were able to keep it pointed in the right direction. Somehow, I honestly am amazed they were able to do so. Great hands by them. We'll take a look at that. Let's go take a quick look at that before this next set of pit stops happen here. So you're watching as they come through 3 and 4. And then we'll catch the next set, hopefully just in time. Oh yeah, just contact between the two of them. Great hands though. I don't know how Kevin was able to keep that thing pointed in the right direction. Oh, Raymond came with a huge head of steam. I don't know if he got into pit road speed in time or not. But actually it looks like some of these guys are really able to stretch this a lot further. Corey Lane's still out there, so he's going to stay out. Looks like only 3 drivers pitted that last time around. That's Brandon Pasalacqua, Art Peck, and John Brill. And judging by the fact that Gabe and Raymond are still in the pits, I think they probably got too fast on entry. So it looks like Gabe is just leaving, as is Raymond, so they're going to come out together, but it's going to cost them. Oh, as we actually have contact. Oh, we have a big wreck here as in the middle of this pit stop cycle. So we'll go back and take a look how this all unfolded there. I'm trying to find a better angle there. So I saw Corey Lane was involved. Charles Johnson was in it as well. There's Charles. It's 83 of Jack Walls. I think we saw him go up in the air a little bit as well. Wow, that's in the middle of the pit stop cycle. That's not what they wanted to see there. Let's go and see what happened to bring out this caution. See if we can find out where it started from. We'll take a wider angle here. Oh, looks like the 81 of Todd Merkel may have got hooked from behind. Let's go back and look a little bit more. So you're watching here. I wonder if there's, oh, looks like there's a checkup and, oh yeah, there's a big checkup ahead. Oh, I think what was happening is those cars in front just came out of the pits. They were not up to speed, and so it's kind of a mixed decision for some of these guys on what to do. And I say, and unfortunately, that's where this all happened. And I say, see a few drivers. Looks like Jim Brooks, Dwight Plush may have just been able to get by this incident. Yeah, looks like they have. Matt Quick as well, but yeah, unfortunately though, for a lot of these drivers though, like we said, the 10 there of Corey Lane, 81 Todd Merkel, Charles Johnson, Jack Walls, they are all involved. Let's say it looks like pits are open, so we've got the leaders here going to make their pit stops. Or actually, I think, yeah, okay, Matt is showing as their leader. Sorry, I just want to make sure I had everything right there. See a little bit of nose damage as well to that 89 car. We'll see if it looks like he's going to leave it be and just get it fixed manually, it looks like. Yeah, looks like he's going to stay in the pits here and get that car finished up, repairs on it. So you see the 76 of Jim Brooks heading out of the pits. Now you see Todd Merkel there. Use that fast repair. He's going to get out of the pits here as well. So it looks like a drag race between the two of them there on the pit exit. So trying to see, let's say the way that caution fell, say there's still drivers trying to catch up. So it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag of who is actually where here. It looks like Kevin Freeze may have just gotten around in time to grab the lead here. As I said, Jim Brooks is going back around, so maybe not. The 76 might be shown as a race leader, so We're going to let things sort out here because this is kind of wild there, just the timing of the caution and everything like that. So I'm going to step away for just a moment. We'll let the field here get all sorted back out, and then we'll rejoin everything on the one to go. Alright, so yeah, so lights are off in the pace car. We're going to go green this time by. Our front row is going to be that 76 of Jim Brooks, Todd Merkel in second. Say really good job by Todd, able to A, stay on the lead lap with all the damage he had to his car, and B, actually be able to use that fast repair, get the 4 tires and fuel, and still find a way to get out in that second position. So hats off to him. Really quick work from the 81 driver and of course his crew and everything there. Saying they're going to be much better on fuel in these cars behind them. They pitted obviously right there under that yellow. Kevin Freeze on back through to Dwight Plesh. They all pitted there under green. So we'll see how that goes. And right now I'm seeing about 6 cars 1 lap down, and some of the big names as well. Gabe Butler, Raymond Rittenauer, Corey Lane, Jack Walls, are all trapped 1 lap down, as well as Nicholas Nook and Gary Corley. Unfortunately, they say they're a lap down just due to them making that pit stop and just where they were on track when that all happened there. So with that, though, pace car's going to peel off here. We're going to go through the tri-oval. And this time now, it probably won't take effect. We won't see it probably on this restart here, but Area 51 has updated the rules where now on the restarts, the leader can go when he wants to. And actually, there he goes, Jim Brooks there. I was going to say, you probably still want to stay a little further or not go as early, because that's just going to open the door for drivers to kind of get a huge run on you. So we'll have to see how this is going to work for the 76 car. As I have a sinking feeling he's going to get kind of overrun here with the momentum as this draft starts building the speed. Yeah, so there goes Kevin Freeze. And so he's got Dale Willoughby right there with him, so they're going to jump to the top, and here comes the rest of that team as well. So now you've got that top line with Kevin Freeze. You've got Dale Willoughby there, Kevin Hash, Eric Laurie. So they're going to lead this top side, try to cruise on by this top 2 of Jim Brooks there and 81 of Todd Merkel as they go through 3 and 4. And see the rest of the field trying to close back up, close this gap up to kind of keep in contention here. You can see there the 25-24 able to get to the bottom. So they're going to grab those top 2 spots. And now you got Kevin Hash on top. They say he's got help again from that 071 of Eric Laurie. And then now he's got Joe Del Vecchio. They've got Joe Del Vecchio up there with them. However, it's only the 3 right now, and so you can see the inside row here is really starting to form pretty well, so we'll kind of have to wait and see. Again, they're still going to have at least, they're going to have to do one more pit stop before this race comes to a conclusion, so I don't think we're going to see too much aggression for some of these drivers here. I think they're just going to try to kind of cruise here and just take care of their stuff here until it's really time to go after it. So one thing this did do though is it really separated the field a little bit. Right now Brendan Pasalacqua, he's going to have to try to work hard here and try to get some help as well. You can see this group behind him. They're going to have to really hustle here to try to get lined up and work together to try to chase down this group in front if they want to still be in contention. You see Jack Walls. Oh, actually Jack Walls gets into the back of that car in front of him. That was the 001 of Eugene Vernon. However, we're going to stay green because you see there's nobody around Eugene, unfortunately. So I think it was just bum drafting gone wrong there for that 83 car, and unfortunately the 001 there paid the price. Unfortunately on that one, you can see here Jack's going to lose the draft as well with these cars in front of him. So I don't see any way he's going to catch this group back. I'll say again, like I said, they're going to have to try to really get locked up together here and start working well. As to say that I don't think they kind of are bouncing around right now. You see though, Evan Pienta is trying to get that 47 of Dalton Hayes to work with him, but you can see Dalton has a little bit of a connection issue. That's going to make it hard to really draft up close with one another. See back up front, they're still running pretty much 2x2. See that top line is definitely starting to form a little bit stronger here. You've got still that 03 of Kevin Hash running on the top line. Say he's got still Eric Laurie right on his back bumper. And you see now behind Joe Delavecchia, you've also got now Matt Quick is in there, Gabe Butler's in that mix as well. And I'll say that's going to be the next thing to watch for is that battle for the free pass position. Right now that one of Gabe Butler is in that position for it at the moment. However, he's going to have to hold off one of his teammates, the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer, who's not too far behind. But the other thing that could come into play, of course, is as they start possibly lapping cars that have fallen off the back of the lead pack here, that's going to make that just that much more challenging for him. You see Eric Laurie there popping out just a little bit, probably trying to keep those temps down a little bit on that 071 car. So say that's one of the things you have to do really here is you want to obviously push as long as you can, but the thing is you can only do it for so long before your water and oil temps start spiking, and say once that happens you're going to blow that motor. And so say I've learned something actually from here is if you stagger off to the right, that's I guess that helps cool the oil temperature. If you stagger off to the left, that helps cool the water. That's stuff that again these guys know way more about than I do. So they've got this thing down to a science with some of these drivers here. So I just listen and learn and yeah, kind of just go from there with them. So again, you see that top line starting to become that teammate group again. So you got Kevin Hash, Eric Laurie, and now you got Matt Quick joining in there. You see that one of Gabe Butler again, still one lap down, but obviously he can play a big help with these guys to play a role in this here. And so you can see Charles Johnson, Michael Spell there on the top side. They've got Joe Delavecchia behind them. You see the 90 of, why am I losing names? John Brill, he's right there in that mix as well. Right now I'm running the middle line. And I think I see that that 87 of Raymond Rittenauer looks like he's just kind of on cruise control here. He's just trying to keep this car clean, probably try to save fuel as well. But definitely wants to make sure he's not at the wrong place at that wrong time. Because right now, there's not a lot he can gain. Obviously, the main goal for him would be to try to be that first car lap down. But to do that, he'd have to fight his teammate Gabe Butler, who again is pretty much right up in the mix of this lead pack. Actually, as we have a 3-wide battle here, and we talked about that 3-wide is an option here, a much easier option here at Talladega. Charles Johnson, Michael Spell, they're going to go for it here as they come through 1 and 2. We have 40 to go here at Talladega. As you can see that top line right now, it's just the two of them, but if they work well enough together, if they can stay hooked up here, they could definitely make a big charge here as they go down the back. Oh, you see Matt Quick, he jumps to the top here. He wants to lead this train. And that's something you're going to see is you'll see as these drivers start getting the momentum, you're going to see other drivers decide, yeah, I want to be the leader of that outside line. So that just same thing kind of helps pick up the momentum, and then they'll just kind of continue to push forward as long as they can work well together, which you can see right there. Charles all over the back bumper of that 89 car. So they come through the tri-oval here. You see right now 3x3 from pretty much the second row on back. We'll see if they're able to keep that forward momentum going and see if they can get 3x3 here for the lead. It doesn't look like it worked, but it looks like Charles is going to drop back a little bit. Looks like, yeah, he's going to let Matt get to the bottom. However, I think that one car now, Gabe Butler, he's like, hey, why don't we try it? So we've seen, again, we see how well some of these teammates work together. So what could happen here, if they could work together, this could actually be a really good boost for the team here. If they could push that one car of Gabe Butler to the front, get him on the tail end of the lead lap, that would actually then open up the lucky dog to go to their teammate, the 87. As we saw the 071 Eric Laurie make a big wiggle there in the middle. You see there Matt Quick trying to push that one of Gabe Butler here through to the front. Right now he's just about got to the front of the line here as they're going to battle 3x3 still. We're about just over halfway through the fuel run as well, so that's going to be the next thing to come into play, of course, as well. But right now, those two in the top line are doing a good job of holding even here. So I think if Matt can get locked onto the bumper of that one car, they could definitely make this happen here. Just across the halfway point of the race. And actually, as I said that we are under yellow, looks like a little further back. I think some of the drafting trying to chase the group a little further back is what brought us under yellow. Yeah, I see Evan Pienza here at a stop. A little bit of left rear damage there. Let's go ahead and see what brought out this caution. That idea would have almost worked perfectly there. Gabe Butler was almost at the lead, just not quite able to get there. So that's gonna, but he should be in position to be that lucky dog. All right, watching that 61 of Evan Pienta. It looks like where the contact occurred at. Oh, yeah, just got together with that 26 of Paul Patterson. Looks like they kind of just both going for the same real estate there. They make contact, and then the 61 goes around. Does a pretty good job of hanging on to it for as out of control as it was here. You'll see one car sneak just by him on the inside. Oh, actually, that was a pace car. Never mind about that. I'm sure that gave the 61 a little bit of a heart attack. I've had some times where the pace car drives through me, and you lose a couple years of your life when that happens. All right, so we are under yellow here. I think, again, nobody's going to be able to make it to the end from this point. But I think everybody will pit here because that's just going to reduce the amount of fuel that they have to take to the end. So we'll wait and see on that one. Again, I believe that one of Gabe Butler should get the lucky dog under this caution. So that's going to get him back to the lead lap. And then that'll leave Raymond Rittenauer, Nicholas Nook, Gary Corley, Corey Lane, Jack Walls, and Eugene Verdon still all one down. All right, leaders are heading into the pits. I do have to make you guys aware, there is some lightning in the area, so if something abruptly happens, that is why. Hopefully it stays away far enough and doesn't affect our power. But yeah, so just one of those things that you never know, though. It's like left side tires for that 25 of Kevin Freeze. It looks like he's going to hang on to that lead position as well. I see you got the Kevin and Kevin battle there exiting the pits. So the battle of the better Kevin right now. Still going to Kevin Freeze. Kevin Hash, though, going to be right with him here, though, on this restart. And yeah, sure enough, there goes that one of Gabe Butler. He's going to be back on the lead lap. He'll hop in here, get some service done to that car, and then get back out and again on the lead lap. So now what's interesting here is the 44 of Dwight Plush. He actually stays out here, and so I'm not sure if he's gonna. I don't know if he can pit or not. So without serving a penalty, but you can see though he's trapped a few drivers here a lap down who may have wanted to take the wave around, like Raymond Rittenauer. You see the 83 of Jack Walls. He's in that mix as well. Saying also the 001 of Eugene Vernon, which Eugene actually wasn't bad. He had just pitted a few laps ago. So he's on pretty good amount of fuel compared to these two. Say Raymond and Jack would probably have to pit in about 10 or so laps, whereas Eugene pitted just 6 laps ago, so he could go about 20 laps or so on fuel. So I'm a little curious to see what's going to happen here. I also saw that it looks like 052 Joe Della Vecchia looks like he may have just rolled through the pits. I'm not sure because he's showing that he's last pitted 18 laps ago. So yeah, so we're going to have to wait and see. We'll keep an eye on this 44 car because I believe lights will go off this time because at these big tracks they have the 1 lap, or just they have the quick yellow. So pretty much it's you enter the pits, next time around you get the 1 to go. So we'll wait and see though what the plan is here for this 44 car. It's definitely showing that he wants to pit, and it looks like he might be bringing these others with him. As I was curious to see if they would stay out or not. Looks like Raymond's gonna go ahead and throw a fake and stay out. So these guys should all get the wave around here. So that's gonna give it back into the hands of Kevin Freeze on the restart. But let's wait and see and make sure they're able to get their wave arounds here. Because again, they're gonna have to hustle to get all around back. But again, they're also gonna have to pit in pretty short order of time here. Yep, sure enough, there they go. So that's going to be, again, that's going to put Raymond Rittenauer back on the lead lap, Jack Walls as well, and the 001 of Eugene Vernon. So that's going to give us, I believe, 24 cars back onto the lead lap. And that's going to keep the 3 cars 1 lap down are Nicholas Nook, Gary Corley, and Corey Lane. Alright, so we've got some teammate domination going again here. So these top 5 positions, you've got Kevin Freeze, Kevin Hash, Dale Willoughby, Eric Lurie, and Matt Quick. So now it's going to be up to those drivers just behind them to try to see if they can shake things up with Jim Brooks, Charles Johnson, Michael Spell. So I think so I'm not sure where Todd Merkel, Mark Brown, if they have any alliances or allegiances, if you will. So they're definitely going to have their work cut out from though to get around these top 5 though, because again we've talked about how just unselfish they are and just also just how well they work together here. It's like those wave around cars are just about to grab the back of this lead pack. Again, it's going to be one of those things where you don't want to caution, but when you're in those positions where you're going to have to pit again in probably about 5 to 10 laps, you kind of still want to caution just to be able to get back onto the same cycle as everybody, and of course back on the lead lap as well. Also didn't mention Joe Della Vecchia did pit that last time by, so he is also good on fuel with the rest of these guys. However, again, everybody's going to be about 10 laps short on fuel to make it to the end. So that's going to be the question now, is when we're going to see those pit stops. Do they pit in 10 laps or do they wait till 10 to go to make their pit stops? A lot of strategies are going to unfold here on this restart. Again, we talked about those restarts. You're able to go once the green flag or once the leader decides to. So again, Kevin Freeze gets a good start here, and I think what you're going to see is we're going to see all these guys jump to the bottom if they can. But right now, Kevin Hash still hanging on to that top side. We'll see if they looks like Matt Quick's going to get underneath them. But then afterwards, they might be able to jump down to the bottom. But I wonder at this point they may want to try to control both lanes of this track here. So, but you see though, Charles Johnson there in that 6th position. He's going to lead this second group as they come through the back stretch. And we'll kind of see what his plan is right now. Looks like he's going to stay to the back bumper of that inside line. You see Jim Brooks, Michael Spell, they're doing the same thing for the moment. So I was curious to see if anybody's going to try to take the momentum from the draft and jump to the top and do something that way. But Right now, though, they're going to stay all on the inside and pretty much gang up on these two on the outside with Kevin Hash and Eric Laurie. So we'll see. I say up as I so close call there. Matt Quick in the 89 jumps up late, or not late actually, but just barely squeezes up in front of Kevin Hash right as he barely cleared him. And so now Matt gets a big push from Kevin Hash down the backstretch, and again, it looks like these cars are going to definitely control these top two lanes here. Yeah, lightning is definitely not going away anytime soon. So again, hopefully everything stays smooth. Right now, these guys are definitely doing a great job on track. Watching right now, still showing 22 on the lead lap. I see Paul Patterson, Dwight Plush in the pits. Not sure what happened there. Possibly pit penalties for both of those drivers. Not 100% sure. Maybe something happened where they had to come in. Actually, as I say that, I see Paul Patterson coming out of the pits now, and I see Dwight Plush as well. So yeah, I think indeed they may have got penalized there for not pitting that first time, but the second time around. So the way iRacing works is you actually have to pit the second time, or the first time if you want to pit the second time, because they close the pits for you the second time around if you do not pit on the initial start. Alright, so Matt Quick now able to get to the lead from that push from Kevin Hash. So now he's got his back bumper full of Kevin Freeze in that 25 machine. So we'll see what these guys are able to do. Again, still going to have a pit stop to go as we cross the line. We have 30 to go. So again, about 5-6 more laps until that fuel window opens. I think that's going to be what a lot of these drivers are kind of waiting on, is just wait till it's time to make these pit stops. And I think that's where the strategy is going to be in as well, is going to see probably how little fuel can you take to make it to the end of this race. So I'll do another little quick rundown through the field here. So our race leader showing as that 89 of Matt Quick. Right behind him, Kevin Freeze in that 25. Fighting on the outside though, you got the 03 of Kevin Hash. And to the inside there is the 24 of Dale Willoughby. To his outside you see, a little bit of wobble there for that 071 of Eric Laurie. Eric's showing right around the 4th, 5th position, depends on where they are on track at that moment. Then you've got Charles Johnson on the inside. To his outside is Todd Merkel there in the 81. And then we have Jim Brooks there on the inside. And to his outside, you have the 23 of Brendan Pasalacqua. And in that 10th position right behind them is the 88 of Michael Spell. And you see right there with him is that 55 of Ryan Wachter, 68 of Mark Brown. And then you also have, that's the one of Gabe Butler who's able to get that lucky dog. He's going to waste no time, I think, to get to the front. So you see he's working that top side with that 55 of Ryan Wachter, giving him a pretty good push here down the front stretch. So we have 28 to go. So he looks very tempted to make it 3 wide here, but looks like he's going to hold off on that for the moment here. Again, like I said, still a pit stop to go, so that'll change everything, of course. And you got John Brill in that number 90 Subway machine. He's showing in the 14th position. And then you got the 36 of Art Peck right behind him. Joe Delavecchia to the top, just outside of him. But I see a lot of movement going on up top. Let's take a quick look, see what's going on there. Looks like Ryan Wachter went to the top side, maybe just trying to get to the back here. I'm not sure. But the next thing we're going to have to watch, though, is going to be that 87 Raymond Rittenauer. He's going to be due for a pit stop here very soon. He's gone 25 laps on this run, 26 now. Obviously had the caution laps to save a lap or two, but I think we're going to see him in the pits here very shortly. It's going to be the same for that 83 of Jack Walls. Is going to be in that same boat here as well. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on this 87 car, because right now he's trapped to the top side. That's not going to help his pit stop opportunities here, because the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel in front of the group here, especially when you're stuck on the top side right now. Actually, as I say that, Raymond gets to the bottom. We'll see if he pits now or if he's going to just get in line here and get ready for it. Yeah, looks like he's just going to get in position here. If he can save just a little bit more, he could actually still make it to the end. As we have 26 to go. So actually, yeah, if he could pit this time, this would be pitting with 25 to go, and I think that would just get him in the window. He'd have to save, but I think he could do it here. So this strategy actually could work out extremely well for Raymond with that wave around. Say a similar situation for Jack Walls. The problem for Jack, though, as you can see, he's a little further off in the pack. He is not in this lead pack. So unfortunately, he's stuck a little bit further back there with Evan Pienta and the 001 of Eugene Vernon. And saying it's just the three of them there. Alright, we're going to keep it on this 87. I don't see any way he can go one more lap here. I think we'll see him peel off, but I am proven wrong yet again. I don't know how Raymond's getting this kind of fuel mileage again, even with the caution laps. This is going to be lap 28 for him, so I think that 87 car was going extreme fuel save mode under that last caution there. Or not, sorry, under that last green flag run, while you saw the one of Gabe Butler was pushing to the front. It looks like Raymond was just doing some extreme fuel saving in that number 87 machine. And again, it looks like it'll pay off. He's going to need some help for the pit stops. We'll see if his teammates are going to pit here with him or not. But the problem with that, though, is he's going to need to take pretty much a full tank of fuel, whereas the rest of these guys will probably only need to take about, I would say probably about a third to a half a tank to make it to the end. It looks like Raymond is ducking off. I don't see anybody with him, unfortunately. So it looks like he's going to be rolling solo here on the pits. Actually, I say that Jack Wall's trying to get in there hot there, and looks like he just trying to make up as much time as he could there. Got a little bit loose on the entry. So Jack's going to pit there also. And say while we're watching that, we've got a new Kevin in front. We've got Kevin Hash now up in the lead there. And you see Eric Laurie as well. He's now positioned himself into that inside row. So I'm going to take a very easy guess here, and I'm going to say you're going to see these guys pit here very shortly while they have this control of those top 5 positions here up front. So let's see if that is indeed what's going to happen. And nope. Looked like they were for a moment, but they stay out one more time. I don't see any of the other leaders pitting yet, so they've decided it's not time to go yet. I think the other thing you got to keep in mind, of course, is that potential of up to 3 green-white checkers. So that could definitely play a role in this one as well. Say that 87 of Raymond Renner is on the backstretch again, unfortunately all by himself. He's got a couple cars catching him, but they're not going to catch him before that lead pack does. So that's going to be the next thing, is he's going to, at this point, I would say if I'm the leaders, I would pit possibly before you catch those guys, just to have a little bit of some safety net. But again, this is a nice wide track here at Talladega, so as long as they go to that third line, they should be plenty safe. So as they come around one more time, it looks like they're going to stay out yet again. So it's going to still be Kevin Hash leading away. Sure enough, you see Dwight there and Paul, they go all the way to the top side again. Very respectful driving from these drivers here. I'm saying, kind of you come to expect it, honestly, the way these guys race week in and week out. You see that one, Gabe Butler, he's starting to creep his way forward as well in that number 1 car. I think his goal here is going to be try to push himself as far forward as he can and see if he can slide in there with a spot with his teammates. I say that'll give him 6 of them there that can all pit together. I say they're not too far from catching that 87 Raymond Rittenauer, who again is unfortunately stuck having to pit by himself. He was stuck having to pit by himself. And as I said, here they all come of that team together there. Say other than Gabe Butler, I should say he's going to be the one that stays out. So let's jump over to them. Looks like a much cleaner pit entry for the rest of these guys. So that's going to be Kevin Hash, Matt Quick, Eric Laurie, Dale Willoughby. See, Mark Brown, Joe Delavecchia is pitting with them as well. So a little further back, I see Ryan Wachters in the pits also with these group. I don't know if he's going to be close enough, unfortunately, to make any benefit for that. So we'll watch Eric Laurie there overshot his pits a little bit. That's going to hurt him a lot. You can see there because he's already out and away. Kevin Hash gets a great pit exit. So now we'll see what these leaders do, if they're going to come this time around and react, or if they're going to keep going here. So we'll watch as they run. And here comes a few of them. Looks like Gabe Butler is in. Looks like he's going to have, contact from behind. We got a big wreck on the pit entry there. Couldn't see where it started. I think that may have been the 44 of Dwight Plush. We stay green. That's going to ruin a lot of these guys' race. I see Jim Brooks in there. The 44 Dwight Plush, and I'm trying to catch that last car. I think that is Art Peck. Yeah, it is Art in the 36 car. Let's go ahead and look what happened on this pit entry there. See those drivers coming into the pits. I'm not sure what happened to Art there. His car just cut left. See if I can find a better angle here. Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. Unfortunately for Dwight there, he just gets into the back of Art, and unfortunately for Jim, just nothing he can do. You'd think he was in a safe spot there, but just a heavy hit for them. So again, that's really unfortunate for them on that one. So say right now still, it looks like Gabe's the first one out of the pits from those that pitted. However, still out front though, Todd Merkel, he's still leading the way. He's got Brendan Pasalacqua right behind him, and then you got Charles Teed. No, that's not Charles Teed. That is the 10 of Corey Lane. A little further back is Charles Teed. There he is. So right now these are the lead group right now. So it looks like they're going for the run it long strategy here. So we're going to watch the lap times, because right now their lap times are not what they want them to be. They're a little slower than they need to be here. See this time around what they run, a 47.991. So I'll watch some of these other guys as they complete their laps. So I'm seeing some 47.5s, 47.7s. Those are going to be the lap times. You need to be definitely a little quicker here to kind of do that, because right now let's say he's that last time around he probably lost about a half a second to these guys. So here's this group together though. We talked about these teammates, we talked about the unselfishness. So you can see right now Kevin Hash is leading that pack of 5 teammates. Matt Quick second, then you've got Dale Willoughby right behind him. Then you got Gabe Butler and the 25 of Kevin Freeze. As we mentioned, that one driver that didn't have a good pit stop, that was Eric Laurie. And unfortunately, so you see Eric here a little further out back there. However, they are making pretty good time here. He is working hard on the back of Joe Delavecchia. And I think Joe's just about in that draft window of those cars in front of him. So if Eric can keep pushing like he is, he could still do something with this. So we'll have to wait and see. This could definitely still get interesting. So I'm looking at lap times again. Todd Merkel 47.787. With Kevin Hash and company, we're actually at 48.5. So yeah, so this could actually, we'll see, this long pit strategy may actually work for this 81 car. We'll have to wait and see. Again, he can go about 7 more laps until he makes his pit stop. If we go by the rough numbers, about that 25 laps or so. So this could definitely get interesting here, as we have 16 to go at the line. See, unfortunately, Charles Johnson out of the pits all by himself here. So I think may have had some kind of hiccups as well with that issue that he had earlier. But you can see, though, here comes Eric Laurie and then Joe Delavecchia. They are definitely closing. They've been some of the quickest cars on track. Actually, I believe, yeah, 47.097. And here they come. They're going to get there and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them put the fastest lap of the race here this time around. Because they've been working really well together, and they've been, with that draft too, they've been closing this gap very quickly. And there is Joe Delavecchia, fastest lap of the race, 46.790. Saying, just for reference, that's about a full second faster than Kevin Hash there. That was right in front of him. He ran a 47.795. So that just shows how quick Joe was there with that draft, with Eric pushing him. So yeah, so great job by those two working together to get into this draft. And the biggest part is now this 5-car draft is now an 8-car draft, with also having Charles Johnson join the mix. That's only going to help that speed that much more. So you can see the second pack starting to break up a little bit. You see drivers kind of jockeying around for position. That's not going to help the speed of this draft here. So these guys need to they need to try to work together a little bit better. So right now you only got the 3 of them on the inside, and the other ones are just a little too far back in my opinion. As you can see though, you got the 68 and the 87. What they're trying to do right here, Mark Brown and Raymond Rittenauer, they're trying to push around to get on the tail end of the lead lap, because they want to not have to worry about that lucky dog position. So that's what Raymond's doing here. So there's no real strategy in this. It's just you want to be in the lead pack here to have a chance. So again, looking at lap time, still pretty even actually. 47.655 from Todd Merkel as our leader. And then leader of that second group again is Kevin Hash. He ran at 47.792. So just about a tenth of a second difference between them. So right now these top 3 drivers have yet to make their pit stop. That is Todd Merkel, Brandon Pasalacqua, and Charles Teed in the 27. Those three have yet to stop. Corey Lane actually, and Nicholas Nook and Gary Corley have also yet to make their pit stops. The only thing that they've got is their lap down right now, so that's part of it, I'm sure. But again, and you got Mark Brown here and Raymond Rittenauer who have made their pit stops but are just trying to get their laps back. And this time around, so yeah, 47.8 for Todd Merkel, 47.7 for Kevin Hash. So again, they're trading about tenths of a second each way here. So really, this could go either way here. It's all going to be about that entry and exit into the pits. We've seen the teamwork work so well with Kevin Hash, Dale Willoughby, Matt Quick, Gabe Butler, Kevin Freeze. So we've seen how well they work together. But now it's going to be Todd Merkel, Brandon Pasalacqua, Charles Teed. They're going to have to do the same. And they're also going to have to hope that those drivers behind Corey Lane, Nicholas Nook, Gary Corley, that they're able to do the same in their cars to try to help their chances out to try to get out in front of this the pack that pitted already so far in this race. Not too far from 10 to go. We're at 12 to go now. Next time around we will get the 11 to go. Again, though, you can see, I mean, they're definitely got good pace, though, as you can see. I mean, we know how good Raymond Rittenauer is at pushing. And he's trying to push that 68 car around as he wants to lead this pack, I'm sure, because he doesn't want to be that second car lap down, especially. He just has not been able to push that 68 around on that top side. Looks like now he's just going to get there. Yeah, he's going to push the 68 to the front. I think he got the extra help he needed from Michael Spell. So that's going to now have the 68 leading this inside line, which again isn't really a bad thing for the 81 of Todd Merkel. He's still leading this race. I'll say what he can do now is exactly what he's doing right there, is get onto the back bumper of that 68 and push and see if you can kind of, again, keep building up that lap speed, because that last time around, those guys are near identical. Both the lead pack ran a 47.8 as well as Kevin Hash and his group. They ran a 47.8 as well. Up here comes some pit stops. Oh, I'm a little worried about the 81. He came in there a little late. Oh, he slid in there pretty deep there. I don't know if he got down to speed or not. If he did, that was a really good entry here. But now the trick, of course, is going to be to make sure he gets out of the pits with his group. That was about lap 25, so that was just about the right fuel window. So now it's all about hitting your pit stalls. My concern for the 81 here is that he's going to probably get out by himself. As I'm watching, I don't think this pit stop went the way he wanted to there. So I see 4 tires and fuel, and he needed to just do just enough fuel to get to the end, maybe left side tires. So that's going to give the lead, I believe, over to Kevin Hash and company. Let's jump over to them. Yeah, and there they go. So unfortunately, that strategy did not work for those guys to say. I think the pit stops is what hurt them there. Actually, Todd Merkel there had a 17.9 second pit stop, so that's definitely not what you need there to have a chance at it. That's unfortunate. So he had a great run going there. So yeah, so actually, we're talking about that strategy, see how it's going to play out. So right now, though, we got our leaders here all line astern. Kevin Hash leading the way. Got Matt Quick there behind him. And then in third is Dale Willoughby, Gabe Butler, Kevin Freeze, Joe Delvecchia, Eric Laurie. Saying I think those are all the drivers there on the lead pack. So we got 7 cars in this lead group together, I believe. I want to say Joe might be part of this group as well, if he is. So we got 7 teammates here, all working together extremely well, as we've mentioned before. Looks like after the pit stop cycle, Brandon Pasalacqua, he's going to be about 5 seconds off the lead. He's got help from a few guys behind him. You see that 10 of Corey Lane and the 31. So trying to hunt down the 31 car. That's Nicholas Nook. But again, as I say, just the 3 of them. I don't think that's going to be enough. And the next pack is going to be led here by Raymond Rittenauer, who's, as I say that, he's on the apron there. So you can see these guys working hard together here. I think they're going to try to push as hard as they can. First to try to catch the gap to Brandon Pasalacqua, but I just don't see a way they can close this 11-second gap to the cars in front, though. So we'll watch the lap times and see what they're able to do, though. So again, watching our leaders here as they get onto the back stretch. Alright, so our leaders ran a 47.689 that last time around. Let's see. Next group with Brendan Pastelacqua ran a 48.3. Sorry, 48.0. And actually Raymond's group ran a 48.3, so they were a little bit slower there. So they need to kind of the same thing we talked about. They need to get a little bit more organized here and see what they can do. But as I say that, though, Todd Merkley's like, I just want to go here, guys. So we'll see if Todd's able to get any help on that top line. But right now it looks like he's pretty much stuck on his own. But you can see the problem, though. You can see the movement there behind him. You got to really stay locked onto that bumper of that car in front of you to make that good time here. Hey Robbie, hope you're doing well. So yeah, just watching these guys right now. Say they've finished their last pit stops of the race. We're gonna come around to 6 to go here. So you've got a little team train here up front, as you can see there, with Kevin Hash all the way through to Eric Laurie there in 7th. Say Charles Johnson able to jump in that tow as well. So unfortunately Charles trapped a lap down, but should a yellow come out though, Charles is the first car 1 lap down, so he's definitely in a good position should things change. And that second pack there, unfortunately, about like I said, about 5 seconds back is that 23 of Brendan Pastelacqua, showing in the 8th position. And say still got that help from the 10 of Corey Lane, the 31 as well, Nicholas Nook. So they're doing what they can, but say with only the 3 of them, there's only so much really that you can do. I'm a little surprised at the second pack, or the third pack, I guess you could say, with Raymond Rittenauer on back. I really thought that they would make a bigger charge here with the number of cars that they have, but just hasn't seemed like they've been able to kind of get locked on very well with each other. Now as I say that though, Michael Spell all over the back bumper of Raymond Rittenauer, so we'll see what they're able to do. And actually Raymond ran an identical lap time to the leader Kevin Hash that last time by, but actually both of them were about a 10th off of Brendan Pastelacqua there with just that 3-car group. So again, pretty impressive, those guys. So leaders just crossed the line. We have 5 to go here. So at 0-3, Kevin Hash still leading the way. They're going to catch the 26 of Paul Patterson. Say I'm not too concerned about that. We've seen, you can see they're all running line astern here. And also we've seen Paul always giving these drivers plenty of room when he's not in contention, unfortunately. When he has bad luck, he lets these guys race and doesn't want to play a role in it, because when he's in the position in these races, he wants the same respect. So that's what that's what I love to see with some of these drivers here with the Area 51 Racing League. There's a lot of respect shown between drivers with each other. Saying just on cue, like I said, here comes that 26 of Paul Patterson, just going to move out of the way, let these guys go. His hope here is if he can just try to tag onto the back of that 28 of Charles Johnson, he might be able to hang on to this lead draft and at least not be running laps by himself there in that number 26 car. But looks like he's going to drop and say maybe probably got down there a little later than he wants to. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to tag onto this pack here. I think he just waited a little bit too late to get down there. You got to be pretty aggressive to make that move happen. Okay, you can see these guys on that third group here. Again, say these pretty much everybody's running 47.6 or sorry 47.7, 47.8. It's pretty much what all this lead pack has been running, or I should say all the lead lap cars here are running. With that first group of 7, the group of 3 as well with the 23 car, and this last pack here as well. So saying this is still a battle for the top 10. I mean, you got Raymond there in 9th, Michael Spells in 10th, Jim Brooks in 11th, Charles Teed is 12th. And you've got Ryan Wachter there. Ryan Wachter, Dalton Hayes, and Evan Pienta are also on the lead lap still. So we got 17 cars still on the lead lap. So the worry, of course, is kind of just pushing too hard here, as we're going to come around to 3 to go here. So now the question is, we've talked about how all these teammates work together. Is there going to be any inter-team rivalry between these guys? Because right now, again, they're still line astern here running 1 through 7. So at some point, is someone going to jump out and try to make a run for it? Or are they going to just kind of stay line astern and say, hey, this is how we came out of the pits. We're going to work together, and this is what we're going to do. So I remember years ago, we saw this at one of the Daytona 500 races. You had all the Toyotas lined up on the bottom. And then on the last lap, someone saw, I think it was Kevin Harvick coming with a head of steam on the top side. So one of them jumped out and then it just kind of all went crazy there at the end. I'll say, however, we say got an amazing finisher. I believe it was between Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. though for the win there, the 500. So we'll see what we get here. If there's gonna be some strategy at play with some of these guys. Oh, as I say that, I think I just saw. Oh, it's all gonna change. We have a yellow. We're gonna have a green white checker. Oh, I see the 81 of Todd Merkel, the 68 of Mark Brown. I see the 88 of Michael Spell. So wow, this is going to change everything. Actually, Joe Delavecchia is in the pits here in the 052 car. I'm not sure why Joe had to pit there, unless he was maybe short on, maybe he didn't put enough fuel in that car. But wow, this is going to change everything here. All right, let's go and see what happened here. See, that's 60. Oh, I think it was a bad push actually between the 76 and the 88. See if we can get a better angle of this. I should just hop on board. That'll be the telltale. Oh, I see the 76 get to the right corner. Oh, just catching up the wrong time. We'll go back here. We'll go at speeds and see how quick these things happen. Yeah, it's just the push gone wrong, unfortunately. I'm saying just nothing that Michael could do there. Todd Merkel in the wrong place at the wrong time. Same thing for Mark Brown. So that's unfortunate. So that being said, so we'll have to see if all of these drivers, do they have enough fuel to make it through some green-white checkered finishes. So I think that's why some of these drivers waited a little longer to pit. And yeah, it looks like pretty much the whole lead pack here is going to stay out. If I'm a little further back, I just jump in anyway because, yeah, Raymond Rittenauer, he is in, as is Ryan Wachter. So those two are going to pit here. So actually looks like we have a little bit going on further back in the pit entry. I see this 47. Oh, I think they're waiting to try not to get a penalty there for the pit entry possibly. And it looks like I see Todd Merkel, he's back on track. I'm still tracking him as on the lead lap as well, so he was able to get in, get things fixed and back out here. So yeah, so we're gonna have a, oh, and also gotta mention here 28 Charles Johnson. Remember we talked about him being in the perfect position should a yellow come out. Well, he just got his wish, so that's gonna put the 18 cars on the lead lap. That 28 car will be the 18th car. So yeah, so we're in green-white checker territory here, folks. Hence the name of the channel. Alright, now let's do some listening to cars and see if they're off. Kevin Hash car is off. This is going to be, again, this is the fuel saving mode. Say we'll see Matt Quick. He's saving fuel as well. I'm going to go out on limb and say Dale Willoughby is. Yep. And see all these cars with that 300 RPM. That means they are not running right now. Gabe Butler, he's in the same boat. Kevin Freeze currently going. We'll see if he shuts this thing off once he gets. Usually what you do is you kind of roll up a little bit and then you shut it down and let it coast. But I don't know. Kevin might be feeling pretty good about his fuel because he is not coasting at the moment. Eric Laurie so far looks like he's in the same boat there. He's letting this thing run on idle. So maybe they took a little bit more fuel in their car, so they're still feeling pretty comfortable. It's like Jim Brooks also in the same position there. Looks like he's maybe got enough fuel in that 76 car as well. So again, one thing that's changed though with Area 51 is they used to always go on green, start or restart, but that's all changed now. So leaders control the starts here, and I'm looking at the teammates again. We talked about that. So we got Kevin Hash, Matt Quick, Dale Willoughby, Gabe Butler, Kevin Freeze, Eric Laurie. I believe Brandon Pastelacqua might be part of that group as well. So if they talk to each other, which again I'm assuming they're going to, say, all right, ready, 3, 2, 1, go. They all stomp on the gas at the same time. That's going to leave everybody behind them trying to react to it and try to chase them down and get that momentum here. So, say with that though, we have the one to go out. So this is going to be attempt number 1. If we get to the white flag before there's an incident and brings out the caution, If there's an incident before we get to the white flag, then we will rack them up and do it again, up to 3 total times. However, on the 3rd attempt, if there's a wreck before they get to the white flag, they will end it under yellow. However, if the white flag comes out and then there's an incident, drivers race back to the finish, and that's how the results will end. Of course, within reason, so you gotta not do anything crazy to bring yourself to the ire of the admins, because let's say there's obviously still rules in this league. So say it's one of the things that, yeah, so race back within reason. Dude, hope you're doing well this evening. Yeah, say Eric has been in contention here pretty much all night. They're started 5th, currently showing in 6th. So he's been pretty much the pusher most of this race. So we'll see what he's able to do. So he's got a few cars to try to get around, but again, we talked about how all these teammates work together, and I want to say they've definitely got the front 3 rows here all locked to themselves. So I think the only chance that anybody else is going to have is probably try to make this 3rd line happen here on this restart. Alright, so let's see what these drivers are able to do. Again, this is going to be attempt number 1. They have up to 3 attempts should they need it. If they do get to the up to 3 attempts, that's going to make things very interesting on fuel. So I think some of these drivers are just going to hope that they can make it here on this first attempt. So now we wait for that 0-3 Kevin Hash, and he is underway. As again, you see those top 6 cars, top 7 cars, they all get away nice and clean. So now it's going to be about who's going to be able to get the push where, and right now that one of Gabe Butler is getting Matt Quick a good push on the top side. It looks like Dale Willoughby's just about to get locked onto that 0-3 of Kevin Hash as well. So we'll have to wait and see as they come through turn number 2. I say the only thing that could go wrong here is they've got to, again, if they get too big of a head of steam here, or too big of a gap, I should say, some of these drivers behind are going to get a big head of steam. If they can lock up together, they can make a late charge here coming to the checkered. Looks like right now field is pretty spread out with each other. See Jim Brooks there trying to see if he can do something with Brandon Pasalacqua. Can't do anything yet. So now these drivers just want to see if they can get around through the travel here nice and clean, and then get it to the 1 to go. That way they can race it out here between themselves. And it looks like they have done so. So this is the final lap here at Talladega. So again, just 1 attempt at the green-white checker. That's all they needed for tonight. So again, you see Kevin Hash on the inside. He's got Dale Willoughby behind him. Kevin Freeze behind him. Up top, you got Matt Quick there. Gabe Butler with him. Eric Laurie on the top side. And a little further back, I don't think there's much that any of these drivers can do, because they are just locked onto each other right now. You see the 23 car. He's trying to figure out where Brandon Pasalacqua can go. He's going to jump back to the bottom. You can see Raymond Rittenauer. He's jumped into this mix as well. He's actually gotten around the 76 of Jim Brooks. As they come through 3 and 4 for the final time right now, we'll see. See a big push from that 24 car, pushing that 0-3 of Kevin Hash as hard as he can. Matt Quick trying to pinch him down, but at the end is gonna be Kevin Hash gets the win. Looks like 1/1000th of a second between Matt Quick. No, I'm sorry, 0.02 of a second between Matt Quick and Dale Willoughby. And I see some of these drivers, their fastest laps of the race on that last lap of the race, going all out there to get it. But Kevin Hash is gonna get the win this evening. So Kevin Hash is going to be the better Kevin this week. So better luck next time for Kevin Freeze. Top 5 is not enough, apparently. Obviously, they're lining up here. They want to do some dueling burnouts, it looks like. So they talked about that teamwork, and they were showing us that they even got teamwork on their burnouts down here, so these guys got it figured out. I got to double check. I want to make sure on these results here that I do have the right order here. Alright, yeah, looks like it was Kevin Hash, Matt Quick, then Dale Willoughby, so we're going to grab Dale here as our first driver. Let's jump back. We're going to get to that 24 car. Alright, so we're going to pull in Dale Willoughby, our third place finisher, I think by like 0.02 of a second, unfortunately. But say you gave Kevin Hash everything he needed there to get that win this evening. Say, how worried were you guys when you saw that caution come out just before you got to that one to go?
That kind of made me mad. I could have made a run to the outside coming off it if it would gone green, but it made it a lot more interesting there at the end. I knew as a team we had it. None of us care who really wins. I just knew I was going to be trapped on the bottom after that. That was a good win for Kevin Hash.
Yeah, so he did a great job. So kind of the joke with last week was the battle of who's the better Kevin. So Hash was able to pull that one off this week, so he'll have some bragging rights over Kevin Freeze for a week or so. But again, we talked about you guys, the teamwork, the pit stops. I mean, you guys got out there. I mean, you pitted a little earlier, basically once you're in the window, and probably a little bit of buffer, of course, as well. But once everybody else cycled through, you guys were out there with, I think it was like a 5-second lead over the first group, and I think about 10-second lead over the second group. So just week in and week out, I mean, you guys show why you guys are a force to be contended with. And again, I mean, great job. So the first pit stop didn't go so well, but then that second one, you guys nailed it there under green.
No, that's one of our strengths. We call it, yeah, when you can put as least fuel as you can put in it, that's when you go, especially on plate track like this. You got to run it like a road course. Even if the caution comes out, you still don't have to pit. You come back around the front.
Yeah, I see the number change there. So say went from the 7 to the 24. So it looks like that's gone pretty smoothly for you. Say no bad luck on the number change yet.
I'm not happy about it. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, well we'll have to talk to the powers that be and find out why you're not the 7. Then I thought it was on your end that the change happened. So
no, I think whoever's got my number is supposed to be 777. So I don't know how that happened.
Okay, well we got some work to figure out then. But again, great run though tonight. I mean, again, we talk about how well you guys work together, and then I'll say, did that restart? I'll say, obviously, with the leader having control of it, did that come into play as well? Were you maybe a little bit less stressed, so you don't have to worry about like I gotta kind of watch my mirrors for those guys behind me with the head of steam, because I'll say you guys are able to build a little bit of a gap, and then once you guys locked on so well to each other, there's just nothing they could do. It seemed like on that last lap.
No, yeah, it's none of us lifted. I didn't lift. Gabe didn't lift. I think the only reason we got it is because we had to show our way around the track. I mean, I can look in my side mirror and see that Gabe's still attached to the bat, and I only lost Kevin's motor about halfway down the back stretch when I put the center of that Chevy nose to him, and it about turned him. So I gathered it up real quick and then got back on his left side, and it gave him the momentum.
So you guys did an awesome job. So definitely want to give you an opportunity here again for any thanks and shouts you like to give, though, for this third place run tonight.
Shout out Team Boot Knocker, Kevin Ash, Matt Quick, Gabe Butler, Kevin Freeze, Eric Laurie, Raymond Rittenhour. Thanks Area 51 for putting up the room, and Mr. Brooks, thank you, and Green White Checker for the broadcast, man. Also another shout out to Dude Conrad down there in Louisiana. Survived the hurricane, but he's got a lot of damage cleanup to do. I think he's without power for a few days. So hopefully he'll be back with us next week.
Yeah, so that's a really good point to make. As I say, that hurricane was definitely not something to mess around with. So yeah, glad he's okay. But yeah, like I said, I'm sure a lot of work to be done over there still. So glad he was able to at least hop on and watch and support you guys. But yeah, definitely look forward to seeing him back on track here as well soon.
All right, Mr. Gill, y'all have a good evening. I'll catch y'all next weekend.
Sounds good, sir. Congrats. All right, that's that number 24, should be 7 of Dale Willoughby. Say he's going to want that fixed for the next race, it sounds like. So now we got to grab our grumpy cat of Matt Quick. Say tried to make that top line work, just didn't quite get the push he needed. But again, still another great run for him in that number 89 car. And also, again, we talked about kind of the different strategy, though, it looked like this week, Matt, where you started a little further in the back there and then kind of just rode. And then, let's say, of course, not a big surprise there. You're able to find your way towards the front there once it was time for, once the checks start getting paid.
Oh, it wasn't all, that great. That first pit stop run, I still don't know what happened. I haven't looked at the replay yet, but the main guys pitted. I was gonna stay as long as I do, like I normally do, and I was pushing second, or not necessarily pushing second, but I was right up his tail right there, just trying to keep the draft going. And then all of a sudden, everything checked up, and I had no warning. I couldn't see anything, and they all wrecked there. So that was the one big mistake there. But outside that, everything worked out, I guess, because I didn't die in that. But I definitely did not want that to happen. Because there's points on the line when you get an X. So, but outside of that, everything worked out pretty good. Flawless second pit stop. I mean, I ran it got a 7.2. Kevin Hash got a 7.3 on that last pit stop. So we came out like 0.3 apart there, and we were able to keep going, and we kind of stayed in line. And then everybody got in line, and then I think we were about 10, 11 seconds ahead of everybody else. So, and then it was going to get really good there, just about to take the white, and then that caution came out coming out of the trial. Well, I was keeping an eye on my mirror to see what Dale was going to do, but we never got that. And then we got the green white checker, and I haven't had a set this good in a very long time. You could literally push all the way around the track. You could, in practice, we were doing pushing the pusher just a little bit. As long as you weren't too absurd, you could do that too. And I think that's what the bottom line did on that green white checker. And I haven't had a restart like that in a long time, where everybody was up each other's tails there and pushing like crazy. And I saw Dale slip up on the last lap going into the 3 or so, or middle of 3. And I thought we had him, and all of a sudden they recovered, and Dale got ahead of me, and I thought he had second there for a second, and I guess I got him by a splitter. So that was a great finish, great set. Whoever made this setup, you could just push the daylights out of people.
That's awesome. So that's what you want to do, and so that's what's cool about it too, is that as I know there's been some talks with some of the drivers with the admins, and like, hey, we want to try to do something maybe different or a little better or whatever it may be, and so make some adjustments. And sounds like obviously you guys found something pretty good here for tonight. And I was going to ask about that before that caution came out. Yeah, if there was any plans, like were you guys going to kind of just ride lock astern there, or was there going to be a little bit of some movement from somebody to try to make something happen there at the end? So. I was curious about that as well, but then once that yellow came out, I was like, all right, well, now you guys are just got to kind of lock on and go to try to make sure you get there at the end.
So, I mean, we are kind of a team, but not really. I mean, I don't want to call it like the colleague racing situation that happened Friday night, like in real life. But, I mean, I'm really good friends with Kevin Hash and Ray or whatever, but I don't care. If I got a chance to beat him without spinning him out or killing him, I'm going to do it. And I don't know if Dale would have gone with me, or he would have pushed Kevin past me and maybe got ahead of me. But I was going to try something because, I mean, we had a 10-second gap on everybody. So I had a top 5 pretty much locked up no matter what I did. I mean, last week, if you remember, I had the outside line and I died coming out of 4. So really, I'm looking for top 5s. Wins are great. Second places are excellent. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm the old Matt Kenseth racer in my head, where I don't win a whole lot. I know I won 2 races this year, ironically, back to back. But really, if I can get a top 5, I'm cool with it, and I'll take the risk for the win. But as long as we don't die, so that's how I look at it.
No, that's definitely the way to go. I was saying again, I was same kind of hoping it was going to go green there to the end. So I wanted to see what you guys were going to do, because on my end too, I didn't know, because we talked about how well you all work together. So I was like, all right, are they going to just kind of go cruise control, or are we going to see some at the end? So yeah, it sounds like you guys are ready to dice it up there at the end. So unfortunately, we are able to get that, but again, I saw a really nice restart between you all. Say, like I said, just locked on with each other as hard as possible there at the end to try to get to the front.
Regardless, I mean, I think I have to say, I know I got a late text Saturday night, something about them redoing the sets, and I couldn't come in for it. But whoever put that set together, you could wail on people. And I mean, you really have to mess up to spin out in the set. I mean, you'd have to hit quarter panels, and that stuff happens. I mean, I get it sometimes, but like you could push the daylights out of somebody. So I want to say congratulations to Hash there. We've been giving him a lot of crap because Kevin Freeze has came like out of nowhere in my book. He's been doing really good, leading the points, stuff like that. So we called Kevin Hash like washed up Hash or washed up Kevin. And then you had the other Kevin called Better Kevin. So congrats on Kevin Hash for not being as washed up as he used to be, but he's still not as good as other Better Kevin.
I was wondering. I wasn't sure if it was a weekly thing or not. I was wondering if it was a weekly battle. So who gets to be the better Kevin that week? So I'll say in my head it was like, okay. So Hash is better Kevin this week, and we'll see what happens next week between the two of them.
Oh, I think Kevin Hash is still washed up Kevin because Kevin Freeze has one hell of a point lead still.
All right. Well, we'll find out. So I'll find that. I'll find Kevin Hash. I won't call him washed up Kevin. I don't think I can do that after getting a win here tonight. So great run though, Matt. Say again, awesome having a chance to talk to you guys, and yeah, look forward to chatting with you again here soon.
Oh, thank you. And like I said, Dingleberry Motorsports #1 and #2s, bud.
That's perfect. All right. Congrats, Matt.
Thanks.
All right. That's our second place finisher there of Matt Quick. So now, again, I'm not going to refer him to as washed up Kevin because, I mean, he just won this race. So he did everything he needed to tonight. Started fourth, able to get the win here. So we'll speed things up that we can get to his burnouts over there as well while we have a chat with him. All right, so I was going after the weekly, kind of the weekly Better Kevin competition here, but it sounds like at least with some of your teammates, you might have to do a little bit more to kind of shake that with them there. But, I mean, first off, I mean, great run. So congrats on the win, but I mean, take us through. What were you expecting to see before that caution came out, coming to the white flag there? Were you kind of expecting to see some guys jump out there and kind of make a run on you?
I really didn't know. I kind of just kept watching Quick, and I seen that he was watching his temperature, so I was just kind of hoping he'd stay with me. But I mean, it's a race. We're all here to win. I wouldn't expect any of them to just ride behind me and finish where they were at if they had a chance to go for the win. So I fully understood if anybody behind me wanted to pull out. But, I've got some of the best teammates in the business with Quick, Dale for the great push there at the end, Gabe, Better Kevin, Ray, all of them. Dude, unfortunately, ain't here with us tonight. Just best teammates in the business for the plate tracks with these guys.
Yeah, you guys definitely do not mess around. We were talking about that with Matt and with Matt and Dale about that last green flag pit stop. I mean, you guys just killed it, and you had about, I think it was 10-second lead, I want to say, over the main group after that stop. So, like you said, you guys are definitely the force to be reckoned with at these big tracks to kind of challenge there at the end. So, hats off to you guys as well on the teamwork there. I'm getting some harassment, though, from some of your teammates. Dude wants to make sure that you've got a 2-minute time limit for your interview. So I don't know if I have to set a timer on you or anything like that. But my whole goal was I was planning on having the Better Kevin thing be a weekly competition between the two of you. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to work with that on your teammates and see what the official plan is going to be.
Yeah, I really think I could go somehow or another, pull a rabbit out of my behind and win this championship, and I still would have to live with that. But yeah, Kevin, the better Kevin, he definitely is a force to be reckoned with every week. And it's awesome racing with him. He's great addition to the team. Him and Eric Laurie both too. It's just a blast racing with all these guys. Yeah, I figured old dude not being here tonight had to make some comments on the broadcast. Gotta give a huge shout out to him too. Just hate they ain't able to race with us tonight, but just looking forward to when he can be back out here with us. And also gotta give a shout out to the I don't know if you call it a mentor or just somebody that makes you actually have to try to drive harder. Larry Yingling, he likes to harass me a little bit, but I enjoy it, and it makes me drive a whole lot better. I may have to, now that I finally won a race, I may can convince him to start driver coaching me.
There you go. Yes, I definitely seen him in the booth in the Discord with you guys a few times. I was joking with him on the Thursday series that I was gonna pull him in for have him be like my Larry Mack or something like the crew chief segment or something like that. So yeah, maybe you're onto something there with Larry. We'll get him involved one way or the other here.
Yeah, I don't really know if you'd want him on the broadcast. He likes to be a bit of a smart butt there, so may have a lot of smart aleck answers for that.
I said that could be dangerous, but it also could be a lot of fun at the same time. You never know. However, though, I'll say I got to give you the floor, though, because I'll say you got the win here tonight. I want to definitely give you opportunity for any thanks and shout-outs for the win. To say if any sponsors, anything like that to help you be able to make it here tonight.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Just got back from vacation last night, went to turn the computer on, and the power supply went out. So luckily, me and my fiance took a trip down to Winston, her navigating, me driving, and got a power supply from Best Buy in Winston-Salem. Luckily, they were able to get exactly what I needed immediately and was able to basically rebuild the computer during the day today while unpacking, while trying to clean, while trying to get ready for the week. So shout out to them. Just everybody, all the teammates, just got the best teammates in the world. And you guys for the broadcast, Charles for the league, and look forward to next week.
All right, well, congrats again on the win. I say, sounds like it's well deserved. It sounds like you have a lot of happy teammates. I think they're all waiting to give you a hard time after the interview too. So, go celebrate with them, enjoy it, and look forward to chatting again with you here soon.
10-4, thank you, sir.
All right, that's our race winner there, Kevin Hash, in that number 03 Chevrolet Camaro. However, we got to pull up our results to see where everybody else finished up this evening. And we talked about that teammate work that they've got going on. So you can see there, top 6 drivers there all together there. Kevin Hash, Matt Quick, Dale Willoughby, Gabe Butler, Kevin Fries, Eric Laurie. I say Brandon Paslacqua kind of could have been a top 7 actually. Raymond Rittenauer there in 8th. So I say I think he had pretty much the whole crew there right in the top 10 though. So again, just hats off to those guys, just killing it week in and week out. Jim Brooks able to hold on to a top 10 in 9th. Charles Teed in 10th. 11th through 20th, you've got Mark Brown, Ryan Wachter, Evan Pienta, Todd Merkel, Dalton Hayes, Michael Spell, Charles Johnson able to get up to 17th after getting his lap back. And you got Joe Delavecchia, Corey Lane, and Nicholas Nook. And rounding out the results this evening, you had, unfortunately, these drivers just got caught up in some incidents there at the end. You got Gary Corley, Art Peck, Eugene Vernon, Paul Patterson, John Brill, Dwight Plush, Jack Walls. So I believe these 2 drivers didn't actually take the grid this evening. You got Bradley Allison and Brandon Thomas. So that's going to round things off for week 7 here with Area 51 Racing League on Green White Checker TV. Remember, it's a 12-week season, so say we're just past the halfway mark. So got a few more races to go before we crown some season champions. But like I said, there's definitely plenty of time. A lot can happen here. But for our race winner there, that 03 of Kevin Hash, he's going to enjoy this one tonight for sure. So he's able to pull off the win this evening. So definitely, again, congrats to him and the top 3, Matt Quick, Dale Willoughby, pulling off those top 3 positions. And I want to thank you all for joining us here with Green White Checker TV this evening. And some of those drivers mentioned as well, with that hurricane that we just had go through the kind of the southeast coast there, Texas, Louisiana area. Hopefully everybody there is staying safe. Dude, hope you're doing well there. Hopefully everything's able to get cleaned up and restored back as soon as possible. But definitely glad to see you chatting on here. Glad to know you're safe. But yeah, definitely always some bigger pictures that we got to look into. We're just kind of lucky that we get to do these kind of things for fun and enjoy ourselves with this. So with that being said, I want to thank you all again for joining us here on Green White Checker TV with Area 51 Racing League. So until Tuesday night, we'll be back with the Indy cars. So until then, hope you all have a wonderful Sunday evening. Remember, if you can at all possible, please try to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and until Tuesday, have a good night.